they had been there before. The two other overtime victories and just late game that they've already played, that there wasn't any, like, they didn't get overwhelmed by the moment. Did you see that as they kind of got back?
The one thing I did see in the huddle, I thought we were hanging our heads a little bit. And, the big message, obviously, when we went through a really rough patch when we had foul trouble by Sam and Derek. Those are two guys, obviously, that we run our offense through. Jamarcus was battling a little bit of an injury. So, we had some very unorthodox lineups out there that hadn't really played together a lot. But we hung in there. And even though they went on their run, they didn't separate to the point where we couldn't come back once we got those guys back in the game. And, the big message to them was get your heads up, get that swagger back that we were playing with, and get back to doing what gave us some success. And, guys just made play after play, and I was really impressed with how they kept fighting. We were down 8 with, I think, about 7 minutes left. And, free throws, fine. We won a game at the free throw line, which, I haven't come into these press conferences and said that very often here. And then, Derek goes 9 for 11 from the line. It was just unbelievable. So just really pleased how our guys kept their composure, found a way to get back in it, and, just make huge plays down the stretch.
Sam is a big part of that, especially just with the emotional plays that he made. Obviously, take the son part out of it, but just how proud were you with that effort from him?
Yeah, Jameer Young is one of the toughest covers in this league. He's an all-league player, and this team's playing great basketball right now. And, Sam, I thought, really defended that last possession well. He's still capable of making that shot, but I thought he did as good a job as he possibly could, contesting, one of the best players in the league. And then those two plays in overtime, that charge that he took, and then obviously the steal after the timeout to put us up 3, just huge plays. And it's rewarding to see when guys go out and work as hard as Sam does, as Jamarcus does. As Blaze does, and for it to pay off. Blaze, I thought, was unbelievable again for us. We thought we could play big for stretches in this game, whether they played Emilian and Reese together, or I thought Derek did a really good job on Scott as well. But, guys just really stepped up. Finally, Casey got loose. They were all over him and did a great job covering him and taking away the 3. But he hit that huge one to start the overtime and get us going. And then, again, defensively, I thought, is where we won that game. Offense, it got a little rough out there for a stretch, but we continued to guard, and then Derek got us going. Derek was terrific in kind of that nail ISO that we give him, and he just makes great plays. We missed some really good looks that Derek got for our guys, but, Derek just, again, time after time makes great plays, and then to knock those free throws down was huge.
When that pass is going toward Young, does he think Sam's got it? He's going to steal it?
No, and then I thought he was going to try to dunk it. And I'm like, no, now's not the time. Just lay it in. So, he shot the gap well, and just read the play, and made a heck of a read on the ball. Sam's had some really good closeouts. Those are things that don't show up in the box score, but to be able to get that big steal in overtime and convert was a huge play, obviously.
Was there a half second where you were waiting for a whistle?
Probably more like a full second, but yeah, once he got it over half court, and he created separation. That's the thing that he did. Jameer Young is so fast and quick, but Sam created that separation and just made a great play on the ball.
Kind of touched on it, but you've had other games like this, but was this kind of the perfect embodiment of all hands on deck, where you have contributions on both ends of the floor from 5, 6, 7, 8 guys to where it was a total team effort again?
Yeah, it's really what this team has been about, especially since the injuries, is, those guys are going out there. Casey plays 42 minutes and didn't have a foul, and he didn't have a cramp. So, those were two big things for Casey. But, Jamarcus got banged up a little bit. Blaze, at the end, hopefully he's going to be okay. We got some time between games, but he re-injured the ankle. So, it's going to be an important stretch for us. We'll take tomorrow off, get back in there on Tuesday, get a good skilled day, watch film, and then start putting the game plan in on Wednesday for Minnesota. So, our guys deserve to enjoy this, and 3 in a row now, and all great wins. Coming back from a big deficit against Wisconsin, getting a huge road win in a tough environment, and then coming back again tonight. In all 3 wins, it takes resolve. It takes toughness, mental toughness, maybe as much as anything, and just couldn't be more proud of this group.
resembled more of a football game than a basketball
Yeah.
game. It was extremely physical. How gratifying is it that you guys not only met the physical test but beat them at their own game?
Yeah, that's how they play, and they do such a good job. I thought we handled their press well, and how many? 10. Sure, I want to make sure. Yeah, 10 turnovers, but it just to be able to handle that pressure, they're so good at it. Really 2 games in a row, Rutgers and now Maryland, to be able to handle the pressure, not turn it over in the full court. And we did a better job not giving them transition baskets. They torched us in transition in the game a couple weeks ago, and to shut that off and to force into a half court game is exactly what we needed to do.
Initially, it seemed like they were going to kind of hold you guys on the boards.
Yeah, they were crushing us on the glass early. I think they had 7 quick offensive rebounds and 7 out rebounded us by 7. But we found a way to go into halftime. I think we had a 1 rebound advantage at the break. I think ended up losing by 1. But again, I thought our toughness as the game went on improved in a big way. And a lot of that was Blaze. Blaze did a good job with that.
You had the big wins earlier in the year, then you had injuries. Did you think this was possible? Your team would do this?
I just, a lot of people were saying, when we had the injuries, what could have been, and my message to the guys is what can still be. And those guys fight like hell. They practice as hard as anybody, and they are resilient, and they do have some toughness and character to them, and you have to have it. You'll steal some wins if you go out and play hard and compete every night, and that's what our guys are doing. So, yeah, we had a couple tough ones, obviously, right after the injury. I thought we were a little bit in mourning, to be honest with you. But, once we got one with this group, then they just kept fighting. I think they believe now that they can do it, and that's a big part of it. So just got to keep fighting, man. Keep fighting, clawing, swinging. We're going to have to win ugly, which at times it was tonight. But, again, this team has shown it can win in a lot of different ways. Offense was really pretty in the last game against Rutgers, not so much tonight. But, we found a way to get it done with toughness. Yeah. No, listen. Again, you never doubt a group that competes and plays and comes to work every day. So that's the thing with this group that I've been most impressed with more than anything. When we put the group together, you could see it in the first week of workouts. This was going to be a group of guys, that really had good chemistry, that went out there and was going to fight on every possession. And doesn't matter who's on the floor. They've shown that time and time again.
Point to the student section after the game. How big were they, and the whole arena?
Yeah, the whole arena was outstanding, and I came to the women's game yesterday. It was great to see a full house for that one. I know how much Amy appreciated it, and the kids, and knew it was going to be a fun weekend at PBA, and I'm really happy. I'm happy for the students. I'm happy for the fans. That they can come watch exciting basketball and have a team out there that's fun and easy to pull for. And, we're very thankful, believe me. And, it was great to do it on alumni weekend, too. We had an event last night at the Huddle building, and the amount of former players that came up and talked about how much fun it's been to watch these guys compete, that's gratifying when you have the guys that did it before, have appreciation for what this group brings. And, it's what a lot of those guys that came back were built on, was toughness and a group that worked extremely hard. So, it's fun to hear when former players come back and recognize what your guys do, because it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. It's a lot of meetings and film sessions. And, these guys, for the most part, are able to put either wins or losses behind them and still go out and compete. Thank you, guys.